what? I'll just pay £45 for an eyeshadow palette. I just don't know why I'm using this one. Well, I mean I do, it's because it's the only brush in there that's clean. Let's just dive into it before I change my mind. It's stuck to my nose. Little fun fact, I've decided to start filming this video at 10:37 p.m. Not too sure why. I always just get these bursts of motivation at this time of night, and I thought I would just sit down and film. I was in the mood to do it, so I thought, you know what, let's do it right now. So guys, today we have a bit of a surprising video because I had actually forgotten that I'd ordered this, and it was quite a nice surprise that it arrived at my house. This is the PUR X RawBeautyKristi eyeshadow palette, which did come out quite a while back, quite a few months ago. I think it came out in June or July, or was it May? It was a long time ago. I wasn't actually able to get my hands on it the first day that it launched because the website went crazy. Kristi pretty much broke the internet with this palette, and I think I waited on the website for like 2 hours in the queue. And yeah, I ended up going to bed, and then the next day when I woke up, they were all sold out. So I wasn't able to get it in the first drop, but then they did a restock, but it was for pre-order, and they said that they would ship them in August, September time. So when it got to August, I was like, oh, maybe my palette will be shipped. And then I kind of completely forgot that I'd ordered it after that point, and it turned up today, which is the 6th of October. I thought I'd ordered lashes as well, but I checked my order and apparently I didn't. So I just have the eyeshadow palette to test today. I did have mascara on, and I've just like tried to take it off carefully and then just put some eye primer on. I love Kristi. I think she's great, and I'm so excited for her. I think she is such a great YouTuber. Her channel is amazing, her video quality is amazing, and I think she just seems really nice and just really real and genuine. So let's just get into the testing. Right, so I ordered this on the 18th of July. The actual palette itself was $34. The postage and packaging was $19.69. So the total was $53.69, and converted into pounds, that was £44.59. At the time, I was so keen to test it, and I really wanted to review it, and well, I mean, obviously it's my job and it's my channel. I love reviewing new makeup for you guys, and I just really wanted it. So I thought, you know what? I'll just pay £45 for an eyeshadow palette. I really like how she designed all the little illustrations on the box and on the actual packaging itself. I was gonna say the names are on the box, but the names are also printed on the inside. And this is pretty special because it's double-sided. I kind of thought that it was gonna be way more bulky than this. I've got eyeshadow palettes that aren't double-sided that are a lot more bulky than this. I really love how travel friendly it is. It's a nice size. I can hold it in my hand, doesn't take up too much space in my drawer. I kind of thought it was going to be really thick, and it's got mirrors on both sides. Kind of genius if you ask me. So what I think is really cool is that she has a neutral side, and then the other side is colourful. Sorry for just blinding you with my studio lights, but I just think it's a really smart idea. All the shades are matte apart from the two shades in the middle. So this one, which is called Cafe Disco, is a light shimmery champagne colour. And then if you flip over to the other side, this one in the middle is also a shimmer, and it's a light golden shade, which is called Golden Ticket. I think out of the shades that she picks, she's got a pretty nice selection. The one thing that I would say is on the neutral side, I feel like some of these browns are a little bit similar, but I think it would have been nice if maybe one of them was slightly darker. But let's see what it looks like on my eyes. I'm going to do the neutral side first, and I'm going to do that on this eye. This is my slightly dodgy eye, so I thought maybe it's better to do my neutral look on here because that's what I'm most used to. So I already primed my eyelids with a NARS eyeshadow primer. I'm going to take Copper Boxes, which is this shade, and I'm just going to put that in my crease as my transition. Oh my god, I'm going to have to be so careful to not accidentally do this eye as well. Just doing the one eye. Oh, this eyelid is so dry and crusty. I think my eczema just tends to flare up when I've been doing quite a few makeup looks in a row with eyeshadow, like a few days in a row, then it seems to really irritate it, and then it will be irritated for like a week, which is not ideal as doing makeup is my job, but hey, what can you do? Okay, that shade is nicely pigmented. I'm then going to take the shade Told You, which is this one here. Sorry, that's kind of confusing. I just flipped the palette upside down. This one here, which I wouldn't necessarily say is darker, but it's just a little bit more warm, an orangey brown. That shade is also really nice. Okay, so far so good. I mean, it's not sticking the best, or like it's stuck a little bit funny on this part of my eye, but that's just because of my dry skin. But up here on my brow bone, it's blending beautifully, and the colour is really nicely pigmented. Let's next go into, you know what, let's take a little bit of Camelot, which is this mustard yellow sort of colour. I was going to use the cream shade to blend this out, but let's use a little bit of mustard. Oh, okay, that's quite bright. I probably shouldn't have put so much on my brush. Oh dear. Oh god, oh no. Why have I blended this so high up into my eyebrow? And this is why I probably shouldn't film at 11 o'clock at night, but that yellow shade is really pigmented. Look, if I put it on my hand, do you see that? I mean, I don't know what putting it on my hand is going to show you, but kind of reminds me of the colour of a pumpkin. Well, pumpkins are more orange, but it's got that sort of squash sort of colour. That's how I describe it. It's the colour of a squash. Wait, is it squash or is it swede? Is swede and squash the same thing? What is a squash? Late night thoughts with Sophie. I'm actually just going to take a little bit of the shade, which is called You're Not My Real Dad. I love the names of these. They're so funny. Oh, that looks quite pigmented. And I'm just going to put this on my outer corner. I mean, there's only so much I can do with a neutral palette. Well, I mean, I guess my options are a sort of smoky eye, a regular sort of nude look that I would go for, a cut crease, or a halo eye. Oh, that shade's really nice. Not a whole load more options that I can do with the neutral side. I didn't mean to blend that one up so high. You know what? I'm actually going to do a cut crease because it's quite rare that I would do a cut crease with a neutral toned look. So I'm just bringing that brown shade into my inner corners and through the rest of my crease. So far it's really nice. I know that this looks a little bit heavy. Let's just take this clean brush, even though this brush is flipping huge. I don't know why I'm using this one. Well, I mean I do, it's because it's the only brush in there that's clean. Okay, I know that this is not the best eyeshadow blend that I've ever done, and it's not like the best in terms of technicalities. Oh, there's a fly on my light. I didn't mean to blend it so high up into my eyebrow, but the actual shades themselves so far are really pigmented. They seem to be blending nicely into each other without sort of removing the shades underneath and stuff, which sometimes I find with pressed pigment palettes, because they are pressed pigments, I believe, or some of them are. So I'm just gonna cut the old crease. I wonder if it'll work doing it with my NARS primer. Will that do for a cut crease? Yeah, I mean, it's all right. I'm going to take the shade My Whole Heart, which is this pale matte shade. I just want to see how pigmented this is. Okay, yeah, you can see there it definitely has quite a lot of pigment because this side is a lot more muddy where the eyeshadow is kind of mixed with the primer, but that shade's actually worked pretty nice. By the way, so if you can hear James next door, he's playing Xbox with his friends. Oh wow, yeah, look, that's really pigmented. It's even covered up this bit over here. Although I didn't really want to bring it that far across. I don't know why I just did that, but so I'm actually just going to dip back into that dark brown and just add that here. Kind of blend that back in. Probably shouldn't have brought that primer all the way to my outer corner, but you know what? You live and you learn. Well, I mean, apparently I don't learn because I seem to make the same mistakes in most of my videos, but that's looking pretty nice. You know what? The only other colour that I'm going to take is this one, which is Golden Ticket, which is the shade that's right in the middle. And I'm just going to put that on the inner part of this eye. It doesn't really want to layer with a brush, but that could be because I've put down that other eyeshadow underneath. Let's try putting a little bit of extra primer and then going in with it. Okay, yeah, you can see there that that is sticking a whole lot better with primer underneath it. Now we're talking. That was kind of my fault just then, what I did there. Let's just add a couple of these shades to my lower lash line. And actually on my inner corners, I'm going to take the shade from the other side, which is Cafe Disco. And I'm just going to add a little bit of that here. Ooh, that one's a lot more sparkly. And then just putting a little bit of that on my brow bone. Oh wow, hang on, this one's got like blue shimmers in it, does it? Am I okay? Is it blue? My eyes are feeling really tired and really dry because I was playing Mario Kart for ages earlier and I kind of forgot to blink when I was playing each of the rounds because it was so intense. Does anyone else ever do that when you're playing a game and you just forget to blink? So now I feel like my contact lenses are really dried out and my eyes are really dry, but there we go, there's the neutral look. So this is what it looks like overall. You know what? I actually really like it. Actually, I've just noticed that there's a little bit on my outer corner where there's a bit of primer left where I need to add a little bit more brown eyeshadow. Also, this eye is not the best eye for testing on because of my eczema. However, I think regardless, it did a really nice job. For the colourful side, I don't know what look to go for. There are most of the colours of the rainbow on here, like your staple rainbow colours. I'm so conflicted. Right. I've done a purple and blue look recently. I've done a green and red look recently. I've done a yellow and orange look recently. Oh, and I've done a bright blue look recently. I think I'm gonna test the hot pink and purple and do a purple and pink themed look. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's not deliberate too much longer. Let's just dive into it before I change my mind. With the purple, I'm going to pack this on. It's called Tribute and it looks really bright and I'm just gonna go for it. And I'm just gonna pack this all over my lid. Oh, wow, that's really pigmented. And it's pretty damn bright. What a gorgeous purple shade as well. It's so bright, and I haven't really seen a purple like this too often in a lot of eyeshadow palettes. A lot of the time they're more deep and sort of plummy, but this is a really just straight up bright purple. I'm also gonna run that along my lower lash line. Right, so now that I've roughly packed that onto my eyelid, and it looks a bit shit just because of how I put it on, I'm then gonna take the pink shade, which is called Side Effect, which is a super bright pink. I'm a little bit scared, so let's just very gently, I'm using a very light hand, and I'm just gonna blend some of that pink into the edges. What is this that I've done here? I have just made such a mess. I think some of that purple has definitely disappeared, but also like, what am I doing? Why did I just use such a big brush? Again, why have I brought it up to my brow bone? Oh, the many questions. Right, let's pack on some more of that purple because I feel like some of it did disappear when I blended the pink in. There is quite a lot of fallout on this side. I do have quite a bit of purple on my face. I think my problem is the blending brushes that I was just using were really big, and I probably should have been using a much smaller brush. So I just went in with the brush that had a little bit of my primer still left on it and kind of tried to blend out the edges a little bit with that. And now I feel like I'm getting somewhere with this. I do wish though that I hadn't brought it so high up towards my eyebrow. I mean, there is no denying that it is a super bright and super pigmented purple shade. It just takes a little bit more working with than the nude side, but then that is often the case with purple eyeshadows. I have never had a purple eyeshadow that is blended seamlessly. Question is, what am I gonna do on this side? Okay, first of all, I just gotta get rid of some of this fallout on my face. It's stuck to my nose. I'm taking the shade Cafe Disco, and I'm just going to put that again on my inner corners, which is really shimmery. That shade is really beautiful. I love how it catches the light. It's a pink, but it's almost like silver. Some lights it looks like a champagne pink. Some lights it looks a little tiny bit blue, and some lights it looks kind of silver. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but it looks really pretty on my inner corners. It's got quite a lot of glitter in it, but it looks really nice. Not like chunky glitter at all, quite fine glitter. I am going for it. Let's try and match the other side's cut crease, but obviously not match because this one is bright purple. Right, so on the outer part of my eye, I'm just going to take my purple to blend that in a little bit. And then on the inner part of this eye, I am going to take Cafe Disco, this time straight onto the primer. Oh, that is so beautiful. That shade is just so stunning. And then on the center of my eye, you know what? Let's go in with the hot pink, which, wow, that hot pink straight onto the primer is very bright. Okay, this look in general is just a little bit weird. Not too sure what I was trying to do there, but oh, I've now just covered that pink with the shimmer shade. Okay, but what I will say is that purple shade was definitely a little bit more difficult to work with than the eyeshadows on this side. I don't know what it is about. Mostly it's like purple, blue, and green eyeshadows. I guess they're just a little bit more difficult to formulate. So I guess you guys can kind of make up your mind for yourself, but I mean, I still think I've got two really cool looks out of this. I do think my makeup skills were a little bit on the dodgy side today. Not the best looks that I've ever done. On both sides, I think I blended them too high up towards my eyebrow. However, I'm going to put my lashes on, I'm going to do my liner and my lashes, and then I'll come back with my final thoughts. Oh, and the lashes that I'm going to use are the Unicorn Cosmetics Look of the Day lashes, which I think I mentioned in my last video. So I'm going to stick these on my eyeballs and then I'll be right back. These lashes I absolutely love. I think they're so nice. They fan out at the edges. It's kind of freaking me out how my eyes look two different colours right now. I don't know if it's just me being crazy and tired and seeing things in the mirror, but I feel like this eye looks a different colour to this eye just because of the eyeshadows that I've got on right now. Am I being crazy? I love the look with the lashes on. The finished look I think looks really nice on both sides. So pretty. Right, my overall thoughts on the palette. I like the concept, I like the design, I like the shades that she has selected considering it's quite a limited number of shades. Obviously if she'd have added more shades it would have had to be a much bigger palette, but I know that she wanted to keep it quite small and compact. I think that both the looks turned out pretty nicely. Let me know down below what you think and which side is your favourite. The shimmers are both really pretty, but one thing that I would definitely say is to try not to layer too many colours on top of each other because it is a pressed pigment palette. I mean, it's stupid of me anyway to try and layer a shimmer over the top of a matte shade that I'd literally just put down on top of the other shades. I made a couple mistakes in this video. However, I'm pretty happy with the final look. I think it looks really pretty and it is definitely a palette that I can see myself using. I do think I would definitely use it again and keep it in my collection. So I am glad that I got it. Whether or not it was worth the £45 that I paid for it, I'm not sure, but we'll see. I'll see how much I use it over the next kind of few months. months. I'm not sure if she's doing any more restocks, but if there are any available or if there are going to be any more restocks, I will leave a link down below. Right, I'm going to answer a question of the day. If you guys have got any more questions for me, leave them down below with the hashtag question of the day. Also, I just want to say thank you guys so much for all of the love on my previous video. I know that I mentioned in that video that I wasn't feeling the best recently and had been feeling a bit down and a bit anxious. I'm actually feeling quite a lot better today, but thank you for all your comments. I really appreciate it, and everyone else that was sharing their experiences and saying that they are feeling the exact same definitely made me feel less alone, and I know that it probably made some of you guys feel less alone as well, so thank you guys. Oh, also I have uploaded a vlog on my second channel a couple days ago. Actually, I think it was yesterday. When you're watching this, it will be like 2 days ago. So if you're not following me over there, it's Soph Does Vlogs, and I kind of do more home sort of vlogs over there if you're interested in that. Today's question comes from Sophie Smart, and she said, great name by the way. She said, I moved from Wales to Sweden when I was like 5, and here in Sweden we don't and never have had quarantine, and I don't really know anything about the rest of the world. Are you still in quarantine? I know some of the rules have been lifted, but just wondering. By the way, love you and your videos. Keep strong, you are a queen. Thank you so much. So in the UK, the rules are kind of a little bit confusing because the rules are different depending whether you're in England, Wales, Scotland or Northern Ireland. Every part of the country has different rules, which I think is quite confusing. But then I guess they do the specific rules based on the different areas, and also there are some local lockdowns that have been going on in England, so certain parts of the country will have stricter rules based on the number of COVID cases. But at the moment, you can still meet up to 6 people indoors or outdoors as long as you stay socially distant from them. Everyone has to wear a mask, workers and people, like the general public, if you go into a shop, basically anywhere that's indoors that's some kind of like public service. Restaurants and bars and stuff are open, but they all have to close at 10. But also what is very confusing is that you can't gather in groups of more than 6. However, if you're in a workplace, that's different, I believe. And if you're in a school, that's different because obviously all the schools are back open. I don't know. It's all a bit of a mess, to be honest. But yeah, basically, I guess all I want to say from it is just wear a mask. Wear a mask and stay socially distant from people. Be sensible. Wash your hands a lot. Use your hand sanitizer. Wear your masks when you're out and about, and just don't get all up in people's personal space. The end. Right, I'm gonna go now. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It is now midnight. Well, it's 11:56. I hope you guys are all doing okay. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. Like I said, if I can find the palette, I will link it down below, but I'm not entirely sure that it's still in stock. Let me know if there's any more videos that you want to see or any more products that you want me to test. I'm still waiting on my Nightmare Before Christmas stuff from Revolution, but I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!